International AIDS Society 2023 conference on HIV science is underway in Brisbane, Australia. The conference, which is the world's most influential meeting on HIV research and its applications, will shine a spotlight on the world's advances in HIV research. Basi Taikpang, who is participating at the conference from Nigeria, reports.
The biennial conference presents critical advances in basics, clinical and operational HIV research that moves science into policy and praxis. WHO Director General noted that ending HIV by 2030 was a possibility, but stressed the need for developed countries not to leave developing countries behind. The new International AIDS Society President Sharon Lowy called for political commitment to ending HIV. The event is designed to provide a comprehensive overview of the latest development and breakthroughs in HIV and AIDS research. Speakers commended Australia for their moves towards ending HIV. The opening ceremony also served as a commemoration for the tragic events which occurred on the 17th of July 2014 when a Malaysian airline flight conveying passengers en route to Australia was shut down over Ukraine, resulting in the loss of all passengers on board, including IAS members who were to attend AIDS conference in Australia. Basi Taikpang, NTA News.
Now joining us via Zoom to discuss further on the IAS conference in Australia is the Executive Director of Global HIV Prevention Organization, AVAC. He is Mitchell Warren. Many thanks for taking the time to talk to us on NTA International.
My great pleasure. Great to see you, and thank you for featuring this.
You're welcome. Right, so the IAS conference is the highest gathering of scientists on HIV research. Tell us about the 12th HIV on Science conference and what are the global expectations?
Well, it is the largest gathering of not only scientific experts looking at HIV, but also people working at the policy level with response to HIV, as well as the community perspective. And I think, as we've seen increasingly over the years with HIV, but also with COVID-19 and so many other things, it's the intersection of science, policy, and community that really needs to be leveraged across all of those domains to be successful in public health. And so this is really a stock-taking moment, really, of where we are and what more needs to be done and what needs to be changed in the global response.
Okay, recently, UNAIDS released a report that has found a pathway to ending AIDS which is clearer, as confirmed by the Director General of the WHO. How clear is this pathway to ending AIDS by 2030?
Well, I think the pathway is relatively clear. I think the largest question here at the AIDS conference and around the world right now is, are we on that path? So there is a very clear articulation that if we apply the science that we know about HIV, the virus, about treating the virus, as well as about preventing the virus, we could have huge impact and really end AIDS as a global health threat by 2030. The question, though, is, are we actually on the pathway yet, or are we just seeing it somewhat in the distance? And I think, in my mind, we are close to getting on the path, but we still have a number of things to do, primarily looking at making sure that we take the science that comes out of research and clinical trials and see if we can actually apply it in people's lives. And we've really struggled with that in reaching the people who most need the services.
Okay, and the recent breakthrough from the reports of the WHO at the conference says undetectable, untransmittable. Please tell us about the science behind this.
Well, you know, it's actually now almost a decade since we first got the results of a clinical trial that was tracking whether, in fact, the treating of HIV was also in itself prevention. And what we now know conclusively and reported just yesterday at the conference is that when a person who is HIV positive, when they have the HIV infection, if they are on antiretroviral treatment, and if they get to what is called viral suppression, that the drugs don't eliminate HIV. They don't cure it, but they make you undetectable in the blood. HIV may still exist in certain cells of the body, but if it's undetectable by the test that we use in a standard way, it means you're untransmittable. And yesterday it was reported that, in fact, multiple data now highlight that if you are at an undetectable viral load, there's a 0 chance of transmitting that virus to your partner. That is a huge confirmation of what we've believed, that this idea that treatment was also prevention. And now we know that indeed that is true, and it's a very strong endorsement from WHO. Of course, more than 40 million people are living with HIV right now around the world. Over